Trump, Putin, and the Submarine Showdown, August 2025. In early August 2025, tensions between the United States and Russia reached new heights when former President Donald Trump, now once again in office, ordered 2 American nuclear submarines to reposition near Russian waters. This provocative move came after alarming statements made by Dmitry Medvedev, the former Russian president and current deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council. Medvedev responded to Trump's call for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine by August 8th with harsh rhetoric, calling it a step toward war. He invoked the specter of Russia's so-called dead hand system, an automated Cold War-era nuclear retaliation mechanism. Medvedev warned that any sudden American military pressure could be met with devastating consequences. Trump, not one to back down, labeled Medvedev's comments as foolish and dangerous. In a late-night press briefing, Trump declared that American citizens would be protected at all costs. He added that his order to move the submarines was a necessary and defensive measure in response to what he called reckless nuclear posturing from Moscow. Analysts were quick to weigh in. Many argued that Trump's decision was largely symbolic. The United States already maintains a strong undersea presence in both the Atlantic and Pacific. These latest maneuvers, they said, were more about sending a message than preparing for actual conflict. Still, the tone of the exchange has unsettled foreign policy experts worldwide. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton criticized Trump's actions as dangerously impulsive. Bolton warned that by responding directly to Medvedev's threats, Trump might unintentionally validate the Kremlin's nuclear narrative and give them further leverage. Meanwhile, Russian officials seemed unimpressed. In a televised statement, a spokesperson for the Kremlin claimed that Russia already dominates in nuclear submarine capabilities. According to Moscow, the United States' move was more theater than threat. As tensions flared on the geopolitical stage, military developments unfolded elsewhere. Russia and China launched joint naval exercises in the Sea of Japan. These drills included live artillery and anti-submarine warfare simulations. Observers noted that while these exercises were planned months in advance, their timing now carries unmistakable political weight. Back in Washington, Trump's administration faces growing pressure. Critics question the abruptness of the August 8th ceasefire ultimatum, which had originally been set as a 50-day deadline earlier in the summer. By shortening that timeline to just 10 days, Trump raised global alarm and opened the door to aggressive counter-rhetoric from Moscow. Ukrainian officials have used this moment to renew calls for tighter sanctions on Russia. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky emphasized the need to strangle the Russian war machine economically and praised Trump's stance, though with caution. Zelensky added that peace must come through strength, but not at the cost of global nuclear stability. Meanwhile, across Europe, NATO allies expressed mixed reactions. While Britain and Poland issued statements of solidarity with the United States, leaders in France and Germany cautioned against further escalation. Diplomats urged both Trump and Putin to avoid steps that could trigger a chain of miscalculations. China, for its part, maintained a neutral tone publicly, but its actions suggest otherwise. The joint drills with Russia represent a quiet message to the West, that Beijing and Moscow are prepared to operate militarily in coordination when their interests align. Inside the Pentagon, officials confirmed that the 2 nuclear submarines Trump referenced are both Ohio-class vessels. Each one is capable of carrying over 20 ballistic missiles and remaining submerged for months. Though their precise location remains classified, defense insiders suggest they are already within strategic range of key Russian naval assets. Trump's critics, including several retired generals, worry that placing such visible emphasis on submarine movements could signal an escalation pattern not easily reversed. They warn that military posturing must be matched by clear diplomatic signals, something the current administration has yet to fully deliver. Still, Trump's supporters argue that the show of force is exactly what's needed. In their view, the world has become too accustomed to weak American leadership. A strong stance, even a bold one, may be necessary to deter rivals like Russia and China from pushing further. In the media, public reactions are mixed. Some view the episode as another Trump-style provocation that plays well to his base but risks global instability. Others see it as a justified response to years of unchecked Russian aggression, especially in Ukraine, Georgia, and cyberspace. Beyond the headlines, the real question remains: are we witnessing a serious escalation toward conflict, or a carefully choreographed exchange of threats designed to pressure one another at the negotiating table? So far, no shots have been fired, no missiles launched, and no submarines surfaced in enemy waters. But the rhetoric, the symbolism, and the sheer scale of nuclear capability now being referenced in public make this moment feel different. As of August 3, 2025, the world is holding its breath. Global markets are watching. Defense analysts are writing white papers by the hour. And diplomats from Washington to Moscow are working quietly to prevent a misstep that could spark a catastrophic outcome. History will remember how the leaders of the world handled this moment, whether with courage and restraint or with pride and provocation. If you want to stay informed with accurate, in-depth analysis of global AI, finance, and geopolitics, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Disclaimer: this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, military, or political advice. All views expressed are based on public sources and expert commentary as of early August 2025.